Okay, good afternoon. Hello, viewer. Human toxic waste dump failure. The reason I'm making this video is because I've decided to do, right, what I've been trying to do for ages. Oh, bye-bye, viewer. Where did they come from? Okay, right. So I've decided to do this thing about human toxic waste, right, in the form of mercury and pesticides. What happens? It goes into your fat. You know, I've been trying to lose this fat, right? All this for quite a while. It's like I feel like I'm pregnant or something. And what they say was this is what I've heard, and it seems to fit with me, that you shouldn't talk about your plans, if you want them to succeed. So I've decided, because I've looked into like reverse psychology. So what I've decided to do is talk about my plans that I don't really want to work. See, that was a bit of synchronicity. It was like boom. My plans to lose this body fat, right? The idea is that I'm planning to fail. Now, so if it doesn't work, that means I'm going to succeed, right? So the idea is I'm planning to fail. That's why I'm making this video. It's part of my greater plan to fail, but therefore succeed, right? So the idea is that I'm going to go about a day, half a day, maybe, trying to lose weight. Now, the reason that people have so much difficulty trying to lose this kind of weight, this like belly fat, because it's not like a six-pack, is it? It's just, it's not a six-pack, so it's not ideal. And the thing is, right, if I want to go into like ketosis or do some fasting, what happens is my body is going to start burning that fat. And then what happens is it releases the toxins, because your fat is storing, for most people anyway, your fat is storing all the toxins, all the mercury, all the PCP, angel dust that you've taken, and pesticides and stuff, and lead and cadmium, and all kinds of nasty shit is being stored in your fat cells. So when you even if you try to eat really good food and do loads of exercises, when you try to lose weight, what happens is you end up feeling terrible. As soon as you start burning that fat off, you start feeling really shitty, and you end up with loads of mercury back in your system, and your body doesn't know what to do with it, doesn't know how to get rid of it. It's really hard to get rid of it. You need to eat loads of green powders and green juices maybe, and loads of nutrition and stuff, and it's quite hard to get it in your system quickly enough if you're also trying to burn the fat. It's like your body's trying to do too many things at once, and it's overloaded with toxins and stuff, so it all gets slowed down, and it can take a really long time. It can take months. What should take a few days or a couple of weeks to burn some fat off ends up taking, you never get rid of it. It ends up taking a lifetime almost, you never get rid of it, because you burn the fat off and all the toxins go into your system and they start making you feel shit. So the idea now with this video is that I'm setting myself up to fail. Okay, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to try like getting rid of this fat, when I start burning it off, all these toxins are going to get released into my system, and I'll feel terrible, and my body will have to struggle to get rid of them, and it won't know what to do. And after hours and hours of this, which seemed like years, because when you're having a good time, time goes quickly, right? When you're having a bad time, time goes really, really slow. It all slows down. So each minute is like an hour, each day is like a year. So, it's like if I can go for like half a day, that's like half a year in terms of how much I was going to feel like. So going for sort of like a whole week without alcohol, for example, and eating properly and doing intermittent fasting for someone like me is going to seem like 3.5 years of struggle without any sort of good stuff to come by, So what I would like to see is that you people can encourage me, and I'll probably have to make more videos about this. I might take a couple of days. I've just got myself a bottle of port. I'm just drinking some port. Port, I'm going to click on to the stuff, right? The words, port. So it's like I'm restocking. I've got into the port mode. Oh, you want to be able to say something, don't you? That's just a bit of reverse psychology there. I would like people to make comments on the top chat. I just ripped fuck off there. It was meant to be an apostrophe, but it come out as a 1. Fuck off 1. Like you can backdate that, because when I first started the video, I did have 1 viewer, but they just disappeared, almost straight away. They didn't give me the benefit of the doubt, so they can just fuck off as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so I'm going to do this thing. I'm setting myself up to fail, which makes it a lot easier, because I expect to fail. I've had so many failures that it's like, this is about invention, invention and genius and stuff. It's about work. It's about putting the work in, So if I'm already setting I've decided now, I've got to the point, I'm fed up with rejections, right? And failures. So if I aim to fail, then this is real genius. This video, you're really privileged to watch this video, because you're going to see from this and my subsequent videos that I can only succeed. No matter what I do, it's like I'm going to succeed. I'm going to be a success. You just watch and find out. I'm going to be a success. There's no other. It's not other. Nothing else is possible. It's the only possible way. I have to succeed. Doesn't matter what I do. I don't even have to try. I'm making this video is a way of bypassing the need to have free will. I don't need free will for this video or to succeed here. I've already succeeded just by the way I name the video and how I'm describing it now. So I have to succeed because I'm aiming to fail, And if I don't fail, then I'm going to succeed. Whereas if I do fail, I'm succeeding anyway, So it's like setting my standards quite low, I'm aiming to fail, right? I know why I'm going to fail, because when I try to lose this weight, all the toxins are going to come out and make me feel like shit. Now, I would like, if you people are watching, to give me some advice about what I can do to get rid of all the toxins out of my system. I mean, I've got a few different remedies and strategies in place. Fasting, I don't think that's going to work. Green powders and high quality nutrition, which reminds me, I need to order some more bean pollen. It's the right time of year to order bee pollen in the year, in the northern hemisphere anyway. Certain minerals and vitamins and supplements are going to help. Exercise, getting, sleep. Sleep's really important, so I'm going to have to make sure I get plenty of sleep. Now, what I expect to happen is that in about sort of like 12 hours time, I'll finish this bottle of port. I've got this bottle of port here. I've just started it, having it with lemon juice. That's really funny. I had another viewer, and I think they must have looked. Maybe they looked at my. My top chat, and I've written "fuck off" there. This is going really well. I'm really pleased with how things are going. It's like nobody's watching. Now, go away, viewer. I don't want you here. Fuck off. I'm trying to make a video in peace. It's the only way I can make videos is doing them live. I don't want people watching me when I'm trying to make a live video. You can just go away and come back after I finish the video or something, It's like, can you tell that I'm autistic? It's like, I'm what they call high functioning autistic. I basically can't deal with people and society very well. You all seem completely mad to me. What I think about autism, right, is that the reason autistic people don't like talking to people, they don't like making eye contact with people. Notice I don't look at the camera very often. I rather look at myself in the mirror, or the picture. I'm sort of like a narcissist, I'm autistic, it's like I'm God. I'm the one in control. I'm the supreme being here, All you other people are lesser beings as far as I'm concerned. Oh dear. Yeah, so where was I going with this video? What was this video called again? Oh yeah, it's a long one, wasn't it? The title. Human toxic waste dump failure. Yeah, because when you try to lose weight, so many people in the West now are overweight. A lot of that overweight is because you've got all these nasty chemicals and toxic minerals in your body, and they get stored in your fat. If you try to burn the fat off, what happens is the toxic waste dump, the toxic stuff. It's toxic waste. The petrol industrial military complex is trying to get rid of all their toxic waste by selling it as medicine, So things like mercury for your teeth, fluoride in your water and your toothpaste, these are extremely toxic substances that they want to get rid of for free, rather than pay a lot of money to have them put in the earth. This is one of the reasons we should all be growing cannabis, and we should be, as Christians, we should try and save the earth, because it's like saving your family and saving your house. You know, being a proper Christian and talking about the truth, living in the truth and doing the work, it's about saving yourself, saving your life. You know, I mean, how come you're still here? What have you been doing all your life to get here? You've been saving your life, haven't you? You've been looking after yourself. So let's take it to the next level, right? And get rid of the fucking evil bankers, the people that have blocked cannabis from being used, the people like the mass industrialist farmers that are using all these pesticides to grow loads of like fucked up food. So it's all these pesticides like glyphosate are in all the food, and it's making us all ill and sort of sad and depressed and tired, you know. And then if we want to feel alive, we have to drink alcohol, which has got even more pesticides in it, you know. It's like a sort of like a downward spiral. It's like a catch-22. You drink some alcohol like to feel a bit more alive, but you're actually poisoning yourself, you know. So, okay, yeah. So I've decided to make sure that I'm going to succeed with this project. So, what do I think is going to happen? I think what's going to happen is, like, in the next day or two, because I'm leading up to the full moon. It's Easter, you know. It seems like a good time to sort of like go ahead with a plan like this. I'm planning to fail. Because I'm talking about it, the idea is that I'm not going to fail because I'm planning it to fail. So I'm going to succeed, but I'm going to succeed whatever way. So I've got no, there's no pressure on me to succeed, because I know I'm going to succeed anyway, no matter what I do. I have to succeed. It's like I can't not succeed. So where do I go from here? Let's talk about it. Because ideally, I'm not supposed to talk about it. So what do I think is going to happen? What would I like to happen? What I'd like to happen is that I will lose this extra weight, and maybe I'll grow some more muscles. Maybe I should do some weights, lift some weights, because when I lift weights or do exercise, I don't feel like drinking or smoking, you know. So maybe I should just make sure I do exercise and lift weights every day. If I do some high intensity interval training, maybe some yoga as well, there's no reason why I can't do that. I can easily fit it into my day. Do some yoga in the morning, high intensity training later on in the morning, doing some weights in the afternoon, you know, maybe some cold therapy, fit in some cold therapy, and, you know, eat properly, do sort of like a few bits of fasting and stuff. Eat loads of green powders, get loads of proper nutrition, but with low calories. So and force my body to burn fat. Now, the problem there is that when I start burning fat, it's going to release all these toxins into my body. Now, what do I do then when all these toxins go into my body? Okay, viewer. Now I want your advice now. Because it's one of the things about doing the work, right? It's like the reason I'm doing the work is I want to learn. I'm not only am I teaching people, but I'm the pupil as well. I need you. The way the great thing about YouTube and making these videos is that I can get advice from people, you know, and I can sift through it. I can do a bit of trial and error, find out what works and what doesn't work, you know, and get feedback and give you feedback as well. You know, you have to take part. It's like a sort of like, it's got to be like teamwork, you know. It takes two to tango, right? So it's like a dance, you know. We've got to do a bit of dancing here. So I would like feedback about how I'm going to get rid of all the toxins out of my system. How do I lose weight? You know, it's as far as I'm concerned, it's not straightforward. There's a whole lot of things to take into consideration. Not only have I got to do some exercise, I've got to probably not eat so much food, but I've got to get more better quality food. I've got to somehow get rid of the toxins out of my body. Now, a lot of these toxins are hard to get out of your body. So what I would like is advice telling me how to help me get the toxins out of my body. You know, I've tried loads of methods. I've been using Schisandra. Schisandra is supposed to really help with toxins. I've been using green powders that have got spirulina and chlorella. They're also supposed to help with getting rid of toxins. The problem is I'm already consuming loads of toxins all the time. I'm eating loads of industrialized meat. It's really hard to find like a good quality organic meat, you know, that hasn't got toxins in it. And it's really expensive. I know I should eat like less meat. I've tried it before. It does work. I know it works. But when you're drinking alcohol, it's like, you know, it's like I've got to do too many things at once. It's overwhelming, you know. It's overwhelming to try and understand, or to try and, because I'm not used to it, right? Because you're not used to it and you're drinking. When you sort of stop drinking alcohol, right? For example, your brain stops working like normally. It takes about 4 days for your brain to sort of rebalance itself and start thinking clearly again. So what in those 4 days I've got, it's 4 days where I'm not thinking clearly. It's like I need someone to look after me. I need someone to feed me, really, feed me nutritious food. Even though it's quite simple and straightforward, I've got all the ingredients. When I'm not thinking clearly, it's like I'm controlled by a demon. A demon is controlling me, you know. It's making me eat the wrong food or drink more alcohol because it feels like life is, I'm going to hell. You know, I just want to escape. I've had too much. That's what it is. My whole life has been spent in hell. That's what it is. So when I've discovered alcohol and cannabis. Oh yeah, cannabis. That's a good point. There we go. Yeah, I haven't been able to find much lately. Hello, Mind Ray Part. Oh man, that's fucking. I used to have some drums actually. I sold them so I could buy cannabis and alcohol. I did have some tabla drums, some Indian drums, you know. But that is like a really good comment, you know. It just sort of like goes straight into my heart, you know, and it's like, yes. That reminds me of John, because I know like John is he's had strokes. He's had about 3 strokes, and so he doesn't seem intelligent a lot of the time. You know, the way he talks is a bit slow, perhaps, and but he has had 3 strokes, and he did do a video of playing the drums, and I really enjoyed it, and I give it a thumbs up on that. And I like him. You can't judge people on their IQ or the way they speak on stuff. I think you've got to judge people on the way that they make you feel, you know. So I like John. He makes me feel good about myself, you know, and I like him. I just like him, you know. I think he's a great guy. I think you're a great guy as well, you know, mostly. I mean, there's things I would improve. I would like to know more about you. I would like to see you, Mind Ray Part, do some videos about yourself and you're doing the work, you know. It's one thing to know about the work, talk about the work. It's a different thing to actually do the work. So I would like to see you do videos, just like I'd like to see HRC do videos about doing the work, and lots of other people. I don't know how long it's going to take for you to catch up with, you know, and like. I suppose what it would take is when I stopped drinking alcohol and I started getting really together and I've got like a girlfriend and stuff, you know, and a job. Maybe then you'll start taking me more seriously, or maybe you'll just not watch my videos anymore. I don't know. Okay. I mean, to me, one of the things about making these videos is that it's progress. It's like I'm making progress with it in terms of I can see myself, I can see my failures, I can see my faults. I get other people telling me what my faults are. They can see what an idiot I am. So can I, you know, and that helps me to grow. It gives me impetus. It gives me a sort of like motivation to make myself into a better person, especially when people are quite friendly, you know. And it's not that many people, but it's a handful of people that are friendly and make me feel a lot better making these videos. I get a bit of feedback and stuff. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Mind Rape Art, and other people like HRC. You know, HRC, by the way, HRC is that's the initials of Hillary Clinton. That's their middle name is R, begins with an R. So I've just become a bit of extra suspicious of you, HRC. I think maybe you're a clone of Hillary Clinton. I have to be careful about these things, you see. Okay. Okay, so when am I going to do this? I was like, probably quite soon. You know, it'll probably be quite soon. We've got the full moon coming up. That's I've liked to. The full moon is a good time to end things. So it'd be nice for me to end my reliance on alcohol. So the way I'm going to achieve that is to drink more alcohol. Not actually, no. I'm just going to carry on drinking the same amount of alcohol. That's what I'm going to do. Because that seems like the best way. That's going to guarantee that I'm going to fail. Towards the full moon, right? Over the next 3 or 4 days. I'm going to go to the... if I can remember, if I can get my energy together, I'm going to go to the the Jehovah's Witnesses place. I got this leaflet right from Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm probably going to go there and get all disorientated and disheartened and think the world is a terrible place. So I'm going to come back and want to drink more alcohol. That's the idea, okay? The idea is that I'm planning to fail, okay? That I've got loads of toxic waste to get rid of. It's really hard to get rid of. So why bother trying to get rid of it? I might as well just carry on drinking alcohol and stuff. And while I'm walking up to the place, it's about 2 miles away. I can probably find some joint ends and stuff, cigarette ends. Do you know what? I'm thinking of getting some drums now. Now Mind Rape Art has said that. I'm going to look on eBay and see if I can find any drums. What drums are like there on eBay? Let me try shamanic drum. as a search. Ah, there we go. You click me back onto my click me back onto here. So that's good. I've got nobody watching me at the moment. What else was I going to say? I mean, just let me fill some gaps in. So I'm thinking in quite possibly in terms of failure. It'd be nice, like in say, like 100 years' time, people look back at my channel and think, ah, this guy really knew what he was talking about. This was probably the Christ, you know. And then what would happen? Let me just think about it. Let me just put myself into the future. Nobody would like that. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't like it. I mean, I don't understand all this. So these people that are desperate to sort of escape from this world, all this sort of scientific stuff, looking to try and go, become like Star Trek. Our future should be like Star Trek. So there's this idea that if you want to understand something, you should look at all different opinions about a subject. If subject is a mystery and you want to understand the mystery, you look at all the different opinions and you try to find the place which is central to all the different opinions, right? So if people want to say, for example, predict the future, and you've got all these movies, these science fiction movies, that are all basically predicting the future. Obviously, they're all different. So what you try, if you want to understand what the future is going to be like, then you've got to look at them all and condense it down and look at what the centralized what encapsulates the most truth out of all these different theories. So you got things like 1984, the Time Machine, the Matrix, 2001. Let's just think, Aliens, the Alien films, Terminator, those sort of things. There's a whole load of stuff, right? But there's other dystopian kind of movies. But you've also got Star Trek, which suggests a kind of more harmonious, interesting kind of like possibility. Yeah, so I think the thing to do is to look at all these different like versions of the future that people have portrayed, and pull them in like a spider web, and build a web and sit in the center, and that's how you catch your flies. Because at the end of the day, it's all about food, isn't it? It's getting nutrition. So if there's all these different ideas out there, you don't really know which one you can choose, which one's the right one, then why not just harness them all, tie them all together, and sit in the center, just like a spider, and catch flies, catch food, That's another way of doing the work. It's another explanation of what the work is about. But basically, all my videos from now on, it's all going to be like demonstrations and different versions of how the work relates to your life. You know, why you have to do the work. Man, I just said that, Man Ray Park. You didn't even have to say that. But thanks anyway for your comment. I mean, I've talked about this before. No, it's good when people like repeat the same things back to me, because it's like, then it means they're thinking for themselves. You know, they're like, you know, looking at seeing the truth. You know, seeing through all the lies and the illusions and stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's fun doing the work in a lot of ways. There's a lot of fun to it. It is work, you know, so it's not all fun. You know, you still get your little, you know, grazes and cuts and bruises and stuff, you know, and a bit achy muscles and stuff like that. But ultimately, it's fun and it's rewarding. And I mentioned this in a recent video as well, that most people who think that when they think of the word work, they're not really thinking of work. They're thinking of slavery, you know, which to me is not work. It's a different thing. It's slavery. It's not work. Work is rewarding. It's a good thing, whereas slavery is a bad thing. It's not rewarding, you know. And you shouldn't really confuse the two. You know, they're completely different things. They might seem similar on the surface. You know, slavery seems to embody a lot of work, but the work itself is not about slavery. It's about fighting slavery. It's going against slavery. So, you know, there's an obvious, like, you know, opposition going on here. Slavery and the work are not compatible. This is why it's an interesting thing about what I've been mentioning about Christianity. How there's hardly any Christians. All these people that call themselves Christians aren't acting like Christians. Oh, by the way, thumb up my video, please. And share it with people so that I get more thumbs up. You know, it's like, I'm just changing the subject really, because nobody wants to hear about Christianity. I've made videos about it anyway. I'm going to talk about YouTube and thumbs up and stuff and people's videos. Just if you're watching a video like this, right, and there's hardly any viewers, just please thumb it up. You know, I don't just mean my video. I mean other people that haven't got a lot of viewers. Thumb up their videos, you know, and share their videos. Well, I don't even know how to share videos on YouTube. I suppose I have to do it through personal comments or something. It's getting harder. It used to be easy to share videos, you know, and I'm an autistic person. I don't like change. So it's taking me a bit of time. If anyone can explain to me how what the best way to share videos is, please do. I'd really appreciate it, you know. And you know, I'm not going to just thumb your videos up for no reason. But if you give me some help here and help talk to me about how to share practical advice and stuff, you know, I'll go to your channel and I'll thumb up loads of your videos just on principle, especially if they haven't got a lot of views, you know. And if you can tell me how to share them, I'll share your videos. You know, I'm sure most of you making fairly decent videos, or at least a few that are worth sharing, you know. Okay, I better stop this now because nobody's going to watch it if it's too long. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.